Sonia Gill, who's from the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights Under Law. And she's here today to talk about election protection efforts during 2012, so this election. And I'm just going to say, take it away, Sonia.
Sure. So, hello everyone. Thank you, Catherine, for arranging this. We really appreciate the opportunity to get the word out about the election protection program. So, election protection is the country's largest nonpartisan voter protection coalition. It's led by the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights. However, we partner with hundreds of organizations, both national and state, and within the state to carry out a program. There are two centerpieces of the program. The first is the 866-R-VOTE Election Protection Hotline. This is a hotline that's run 365 days out of the year to answer any question voters have about the voting process. This can be a question that's as simple as, where's my polling place? Am I registered? What's my registration status? Or as complex as asking about, if they're dealing with, intimidation at the polling place or some issue with provisional ballots that they may be uncertain about, or problems of a greater escalation, such as voting machines breaking down, things like that. So we really run the gamut and the type of questions that we're able to field through the 866-R-VOTE hotline. In major election years, generally, general elections and presidential election years, we staff the hotline live beginning a few months prior to Election Day. And we do staff this live in our Washington, D.C. offices. However, we also rely on the pro bono resources of our partner law firms and attorneys who help support the hotline with additional staff and volunteers. On Election Day, we have a huge program. We have national hotlines in San Francisco, New York, and Washington, D.C. These hotlines answer, again, calls around the country that come in. And in addition, we have a number of local programs in targeted states, generally states that are, swing states, where we expect a high turnout or a hotly contested election. These tend to be the same states time and again, and obviously one of those states is Ohio. In Ohio, we want to have a very robust program this year because obviously there have been many, many changes to the voting laws. We have a state-based call center that's actually based out of New York at the law firm of Proskauer Rose. They've been involved in the state for many years, supporting the litigation that we've brought here as an organization to support voters. They're going to staff 40 hotlines that are dedicated only to the state of Ohio. In addition, we're going to have a very robust field program supported by our in-state partners, such as Project Vote and State Voices. And we're going to target 5 counties. Those counties are Cuyahoga, Hamilton, Montgomery, Lucas, and Franklin. In addition, we're going to have an additional program in Youngstown. The field program basically consists of groups of folks going out on the ground. They're going to be the foot soldiers, just monitoring how things are going at the polling places. We want to make sure that voters who are eligible and qualified are able to cast their ballots effectively and are not denied the opportunity to vote. They're also going to be there available to answer any questions that folks have on the ground. If, for example, a voter shows up on the polling place and they're not on the registration list, we're going to help that voter to answer the question as to why they may not be on the registration list, and perhaps they're in the wrong polling place or the wrong precinct. We're going to try to direct them in the right way. In addition, the poll monitors are the legal field volunteers are also an extension of the election protection hotline. They really extend the reach of the program to more voters. We try vigorously to advertise the hotline as much as possible because it really is an incredible resource for voters on Election Day. But obviously, not everyone's going to hear about the hotline as much as we try to promote it. So, the folks on the ground are really an extension of that service that we're trying to provide to voters. As a nonpartisan organization, we take that role very seriously. We're here to assist voters. We have, we've sort of been dealing with, organizations such as, True the Vote, and these sort of voter integrity squads. So we want to make sure that we are out on Election Day, making sure that voters are not going to be indiscriminately, sort of challenged or intimidated at the polling places. So In addition, one other thing I'd like to mention is the drastic, I know Alice has done great work on this, the consolidation of polling places and precincts in the state of Ohio. I think the number of precincts has dropped by 1,000 from 2008 to 2010. And so this is going to result in a lot of voter confusion about where their appropriate polling place is. And obviously there are issues with voters voting at the wrong precinct within the same polling place. So we expect this problem to grow this cycle. So again, another reason why election protection is going to be a hugely important resource for voters. I guess I'll kick it to, I think I've said enough. I can kick it to somebody else, or I don't know if you have questions, or we can take them at the end.
Well, Camille, would you